Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Village President Al Larson. In this episode, we'll be joined by Joe Podlasek from the Trickster Gallery. Then we'll talk to Rob Paleckis to learn about this year's summer theater production. We'll close out the program by speaking with Eileen Brown from the Daily Herald. All of this and more here today on Speaking of Schaumburg. The Trickster Art Gallery has been very busy with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Stanley Cup. Here to tell us about the relationship is Joe Podlasek, founding member and CEO. Well, welcome, Speaking of Schaumburg, Joe.
Thank you, Mayor. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Now, what is this relationship you have with Blackhawks?
So the Chicago Blackhawks and Trickster Art Gallery has formed a relationship to talk about the logo itself. It's that cultural history behind it. There's a lot of challenges in the sports world today of those that are using sports imagery. The Hawks have been very respectful and not doing mascots, not using it in negative ways. So we've created a long-term partnership around cultural education, and we started with our elders and our veterans as building the relationship.
Now, the Blackhawks, that's not a tribe, is it? It's an individual.
It is an individual, and that's where this whole thing started. People in 2010 were really wearing their logos and T-shirts and jerseys everywhere, and almost nobody got it right. So we said, here's a perfect opportunity for education, and sure. They loved the agreement too.
So what kind of agreement is there? What do you?
So what we said is over.
I don't see you out there shooting pucks, Joe.
I haven't shot any pucks, but we do have our veterans out there. I think there was 8 times during the year.
Okay.
And then it was game 1 and game 6, or the last home game of each round of the playoffs, that we had not only our native veterans, but our Eagle Feather staff on the ice with active duty and other veterans, which is, it's amazing about bringing us all together and telling that story on the ice. And of course, we had a Potawatomi veteran on the ice for Game 6 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, really?
It was originally their land where the United Center sits.
Oh my, that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, tell us about the name itself, Blackhawk, and where it came from.
Oh, sure. So Blackhawks, the original name came from for the Blackhawks from an Army troop in World War I, where McLaughlin's named it after his troop in honor of the men that he served with. Well, we said, let's dig a little bit farther. Where did that troop get its name? And let's tell that cultural history. And it was Chief Blackhawk, who was a warrior here of the Sauk and Fox tribe in Illinois. So it's not of the whole tribe. It's not of all Indian people. It's of one individual that played a very important role as a veteran and warrior in Illinois.
Isn't that that statue of him in Rock River?
There is, yeah. So that's and there's a whole park dedicated to him. There's events there throughout the year, and that statue is being renovated now. So it's been there so long, it's time to start doing some renovations.
Now, in the past, you've been able to entice the Stanley Cup to come here to Schaumburg.
Yeah, so we're excited.
Is that going to happen again?
We are looking forward to it, yes. So absolutely, we don't have a date yet. All the players get the cup first, and the owners get it for a day. So it'll probably be September, as it was in past years. But in the meantime, what we did is they were very generous and gave us a fully signed 2015 Stanley Cup stick.
Oh my!
So we're going to be raffling that off.
High sticking?
Yeah, high sticking. Penalty right off the bat. But we're raffling this off, making it affordable for everybody. It's $10 a ticket. You can visit our website to get tickets or stop by the Trickster Gallery. And this is going to support a big national event that we're doing at Cantini Park.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
August 29th. So
excuse me, Joe. I don't mean to.
Yeah. No 5-minute penalty there. That, once you draw blood. But yeah, so that's, that's part of their way of additionally supporting our programs here in Schaumburg at the Trickster Art Gallery. much like you do, you've opened so many doors for us that we're really enjoying being here. And we've opened partnerships with the National Library of Medicine, and they've just recently pledged their ongoing support for more programs. Ties in with the Smithsonian out of DC.
Tell us about the raffle here.
So the raffle, so it's $10 per ticket, or $7 for $50.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll have the cup there for a little bit, and we can throw all the tickets in the top of the cup and have one of the representatives of the Blackhawks.
Where do they buy tickets? Where can they get tickets?
We encourage them to stop by Trickster Art Gallery, and they can buy.
And where's the Trickster Art Gallery?
Trickster Art Gallery is at 190 South Roselle, right here in Schaumburg.
On the west side of the street, a beautiful building.
It is. So we share a partnership parking lot with Bonefish Restaurant, and just behind the Schaumburg Library, ideally set for visitors to come and see us. And now, thanks to your wonderful work and your teams, we have some beautiful signs on Roselle to help direct people right to us.
Wayfarer signs, right?
Yeah, Wayfarer signs. So they've been tremendous. It's brought in a lot more residents now that they can see where we are and a little bit about us. So they've been very helpful.
Well, I tell you, this is going to generate a lot of interest out there. I tell you, it really is.
We've been doing research, and there's very few of these that they gave away, and there are none in the market because the certificate comes directly from the Blackhawks.
Okay.
It's not a third-party authenticity card. It is right from the Blackhawks.
Is this a regulation stick?
It's a souvenir stick. It's a limited edition, so it's something they specially make.
Okay. How many of these are there out there?
I don't have an exact count, but I've been doing some research, and I haven't found any. I've had one person offer me $3,000 for it instead of buying a ticket. Of course, I said no.
Buy a lot of tickets. That's all.
Well, that's what I offered them. I said it's all right. We've already made a commitment to everyone that we're going to do a raffle. And
now, what's this event at Cantini?
Cantini is a national gathering of American Indian veterans. All veterans are welcome.
Sure.
But we're doing a documentary and sharing what wound up being called the untold stories. So the history of American Indian people contributions to the military. One interesting fact that we found in our research and building the documentary is we have the highest percentage of any race of people to volunteer for the military. So currently, our population is at about 22% that volunteer, where most other races are around between 8 and 11%. And we do that to protect our homelands, the United States.
Now, you indicated that the Chief Blackhawk was the head of the Sauk and Fox
tribe that used to be here. And an interesting piece, as part of our school tour program, it's called Walking Through Native Lands, working with the Schaumburg History Organization, we found that right at the corner of Schaumburg and Roselle is where the Potawatomi land and the Sauk and Fox land met. Almost exactly the footprint of where we are. So it was just, there's always facts to be found, and those are the stories from our veterans that will be shared, and we're creating a 30-minute documentary that will then be, Comcast is interested, PBS is interested.
Oh, sure.
So we're going to be sharing once it's done, and we hope the release is in November of this year.
Now, this raffle for the souvenir hockey stick, where do they go for tickets? I mean, you mentioned the Trickster Gallery. Can they call? Is there a number they can call?
They can call 847-301-2090. They can visit our website. We have a fabulous new web designer that made it a click away. As a little app that you can buy online, and you'll get a copy of your ticket.
$10 a ticket.
Or $7 for $50. So if you invest $50, which goes towards the Veterans Program, you get 2 free tickets.
And how long does this raffle last?
It'll last until August 29th, the day of the drawing.
Okay, all right. And where will the drawing take place?
At Cantini, at Cantini Park on August 29th in Wheaton, Illinois.
Okay. I think that was funded by McCormick, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's one of our new partners. The McCormick Foundation, and that Cantini Park is owned by the foundation. So we're doing a plan. They gave us a planning grant to help organize and sustain our programs and look at long-term visions of not only this event, but looking to the future.
I look forward to it, Joe.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Good to see you again. Check out what's on the playbill for this year's summer theater program next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. Now in its 27th season, the Schaumburg Summer Theater Program is busy rehearsing what's sure to be an outstanding performance by local talent. Rob Paleckis is here to tell us more about it. Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Thank you.
Tell us about the
Good to be back.
about the summer theater.
The Schaumburg Summer Theater Program is, like you said, since 1989. We've been putting on shows for the community, starring high school and college students from not just from Schaumburg, but from throughout the northwest suburbs and a little bit beyond.
What kind of shows have you put on?
Oh man, well we put on a lot of big name musicals, like we've done Guys and Dolls, Damn Yankees, what else? Oklahoma. So it's
On the Town?
We've done On the Town. We've done some more obscure shows like No No Nanette and smaller shows like that. We've done some Marx
Brigadoon.
Brothers. We did Brigadoon. We did some Marx Brothers stuff. We kind of run the gamut. After 26 years, you're looking for new stuff to do.
But now you're coming home.
We're coming home to one of my favorite writing teams. It's Gilbert and Sullivan. And
You knew them, did you?
Personally, they were nice people. One was kind of cranky always, so I won't say which one. I don't want to upset them. So it was Gilbert, actually. He was the cranky one. So this is a long time ago. But they, of course, they've written 14 operas together, and we produced in 2009. We did The Pirates and Penzance, which everyone is familiar with. Yes. The next year, we put on The Mikado, which is another wonderful.
Some great cast members from the Mikado.
Incredible people. Some serious voice, students who really took their stuff seriously. And we're coming back with HMS Pinafore. Probably there's a top three of Gilbert and Sullivan. There's Mikado, Pirates, and HMS Pinafore. So we're kind of going full circle with.
There's a term for that, isn't it? That kind of musical. That kind of.
Operetta, really. It is an operetta, and this because you have minimal. It's mostly operatic music. You'll hear it in the opera stage, but it's got dialogue. It's got little bits in between. So it's a little bit of each, a little bit of a
So you
comedy,
can kind of stretch that a little bit, can't you?
Well, since they're not around to protect their works, and the shows are in the public domain, we can take some liberties with them. And we've done everything from adding extra verses to songs. We did sing a little bit about Blagojevich in 2010 when it was more topical. And it's very common to do that with Gilbert and Sullivan. You kind of find something that's current, some current event, you kind of do a spin on it in one of their songs.
What are some of the songs?
HMS Pinafore, and it's one of probably the first Gilbert and Sullivan songs I knew as a kid. It was I'm called Little Buttercup, sweet little buttercup.
Don't sing to me.
All right, I'm sorry, I won't do that. But everyone knows.
But beyond that, I mean.
But it's got some great tunes. I am the captain of the Pinafore, things like that. And it's got we sail the ocean blue. I don't know all the words, but la 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 la. It's just it's. It
lends itself to some great dance numbers too.
It lends itself to some dancing, a lot of movement. They're very peppy numbers. They're very upbeat. So we like to a lot of times out of opera are people just what we call park and bark. So they stop and they sing. They park and they bark, and we want to keep the audiences engaged. We want to move our actors around. So we do. We do some little dancing. We do a little movement. It's become a thing. I don't choreograph. I don't know choreography. I don't know.
Wait. You came into the office with some dance moves that you said were out there.
Well, that's what we call choreography. So we don't call it choreography, we call it choreography because it's my own little style of. It's no one in the world would call it dance because it would be a shame to the world of dance to call it that. So they do silly things.
like what?
So it's just gestures and dance and moves that you normally would not see in an opera or an operetta. They just I can't quite explain it.
Kind of jaunty.
Here, let me get on the table and do that. No, I can't do that.
Go on the stool.
I've got my microphone on. I can't move. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm beholden to my chair. So, but they're very they're just kind of fun little movements.
How many cast members do you have?
We got 34 in the cast. Again, all from college students, a couple who just graduated from college, a lot of people just graduated from high school. And we got a couple people who are like freshmen and sophomores in high school.
Good voices.
Great voices. Our music director, Mark Beth, does a remarkable job with kids who've never sung this kind of music before, and he knows how to turn them into these mature sounding machines that produces beautiful, really just choral sound that goes beyond their age.
When is the show?
The show is we play for 2 weekends, opening July 31st. That's Friday, July 31st. So it's July 31st and August 1st, and then the following weekend, August 7th and 8th. Those are Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. And I got to add, we're not just doing HMS Pinafore. We're adding another show.
Oh, you are?
You're getting. If you see HMS Pinafore, you get a bonus show after that. We're doing an operetta called Trial by Jury, which is their first well-known. It's a short one-act, about 30-minute opera. It takes place. It's in a courtroom, and it's a woman suing a man because he bailed on their marriage.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, it's
room for a lot of comedy there, I would imagine.
Oh, there is room for comedy in that one. So yeah, we're going to take full advantage of that. So.
How do you stage that? I mean,
it's interesting. What I do is I really shouldn't be saying this, but I walked in the other day and I said, I got nothing for you guys, and we had a big number to do, and I looked for ideas from the kids. I'm saying, all right, what do you guys want to do? All right, that sounds ridiculous enough. Let's try it, and so it becomes kind of a collaborative process. Young minds. They're creative. They're inventive, and they're uninhibited. So they'll do whatever. And so we just. It's kind of like everything but the kitchen sink. It's going to be a free for all this show, and why not? Let's use it. But my adage is keep it until we take it out.
How much are tickets?
Tickets are $20 for adults, $16 for students or seniors. Is that right? I believe so. Yeah. Still well below your high-end musical, but the production values are great. We have an orchestra in the pit, full orchestra in the pit, staging. I mean, they're full productions.
How about costumes?
The costumes are beautiful, and we're going to have a little fun with this one. The show's Pinafore's from 1878. We have everyone in Victorian, costumes. For Trial by Jury, which opened in 1875, we decided to change the period to the 1920s, the Roaring 20s, because if you might have seen the movie Chicago,
yes,
those were the days of gangsters and these high-profile trials, So we thought, let's make this a high-profile 20s trial. So the guy who's bailed on the woman is going to be a Gatsby type, and the woman is like your femme fatale, and it's going to be really, really fun.
And you've got actors who have dual roles.
We have actors the same cast as in both shows. So some are, some people are going to go from one role to another. Some people are in the ensemble. Some people are going from a lead to the ensemble. It's a mixed bag of talent. So I mean, but they're all great. They're all not only do they sing well, but they're funny. And when you do Gilbert and Sullivan, you got to be funny.
They're very broad, isn't it?
It's very This is not high-end humor. He was quite a wordsmith. Gilbert, when he wrote the lyrics, and Sullivan was the songwriter. But there's some pretty, short of pratfalls, which we do add in there. It's
you don't have any bodies falling from the ceiling like I've seen some of your previous.
Like some of my previous productions. No bodies from the ceiling.
Are people yelling from the audience?
I'm not going to comment on that. That might be a rooting part of the show.
That sounds great. It really sounds great.
We've had people come up from the audience and state their views on the show during the production. So we hope it doesn't happen again.
Rob, good to see you
Thanks
again.
for having me. We're looking forward to putting on a great show for you.
Should be a great show. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. A summer talent competition featuring budding local performers is coming to the Prairie Center. Learn more here on Speaking of Schaumburg. Suburban Chicago's Got Talent by the Daily Herald will feature talented people from across the Chicago area suburbs. Joining us is Eileen Brown, who will tell us more about the competition. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg, Eileen.
Well, thank you.
Tell us about this extravaganza.
This is our 4th year. It's our 2nd year of hosting this at the Prairie Center, which is a wonderful venue for this competition. And we solicit entries from people, our readers, and we got about 70 people that wanted to participate in the competition. It's a talent show.
That's all age groups too, isn't it?
It's all age groups. So you've got little tiny toddlers, who can sing opera, believe it or not, and then you've got senior citizens.
I remember it's 2 years ago. That was that young lady.
Yeah, it's amazing that
Yeah.
voice would come out of
Is she still around?
I don't believe she signed up this year. Maybe her voice changed or something. She hit kindergarten and off she went. But we had about 70 applicants, and we wheedled it down to 20. So we had a pre-judging. Everyone had to do tryouts. They did the tryouts here over the course of 3 days, and we picked 20. And the show will be on July 5th. The first show, the first 20, will be here at the Prairie Center on Sunday.
Okay, and after July 5th, it'll be.
Then it's every 2 weeks. We'll go from 20 to 15 to 10 to 5. So July 5th and July 12th and July 20.
What are some of the more interesting tryouts?
Oh, well, we've had the first year we had a guy that did the yo-yos. He won some kind of international competition for yo-yos, so he did that. We've had a bunch of kids once came and they did all of the musical instruments. They did it with their video game equipment. So that was an interesting, fun one. We've had, like I said, really little ones that have these booming, beautiful voices. It's amazing how talented people are and how what kind of ingenuity they have in terms of their talent.
Do you have repeats? Do you have people who maybe came close one year and they come back the next year?
Yeah, we do. We've got about 5 or 6 that have been throughout the competition, have been all 4 years that they've tried. And one of them in particular was this close last year, and so I'm not going to say his name, but he was so good and so talented, and he writes his own music, and he came back this year too.
How old is he?
I want to say he's in his 20s, so he's got time to make it big.
To have his heart broken.
To have his heart broken. Well, that's part of the competition. They get their hearts broken. But the grand prize that we have for the winner is really a great opportunity. Ron Onesti, he owns the Arcada Theater in St. Charles. He's quite a showman and has produced, I think, 200 shows all over the world.
Sure.
And I think he actually won 3 Emmys. He is one of the judges, and he gives a prize that they win like a starter package. So they get to perform a show at the Arcada Theater that he helps produce, and they get a video of their performance, and they get lots of advice from him and mentoring and encouragement. So that is an awesome prize for anybody. So
now what wins what really wins prizes? Is it vocals more than anything else, or?
It's a combination. It's like some people just have it's stage presence. And people have amazing.
The guy last year had stage presence.
Oh, he had great stage presence. Yeah, he was wonderful. He was a wonderful person.
And you don't have to be an amateur though.
Well, we don't want somebody who's completely a professional. So they've got to be sort of.
If somebody has gigs once in a while.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Sure.
So they have stage presence, obviously, and because they're all talented. I would have to say they're all, by and large. If you get to the top 20, you're pretty talented to begin with. But then the other thing that happens along the way is we have 4 judges every week. Ron is one of them. Barb Vitello is one of them. Beth Waller from the
Park District.
Right, from the Park District.
John Flamini is one too.
Yes, he's also one. So those are the 4 judges, and they really offer great advice to the people. And so I think they give them sort of bonus points if they listen from week to week. So if you're in the top 20 and then you come back in the top 15 and you've actually incorporated some of what they've told you to do,
Do they know that?
Well, I'm telling them now. But yeah,
if people watch this show, if I ever get through the monologue,
it's just common sense. But though you've got these people with really good knowledge and their heart's in the right place. They want to help these people be the best they can be, and it would behoove you to listen to them, to their advice. So they give this great advice, and so you can sort of see if you go to the first show and then continue going every other week to the progressive shows, then you can see that they get better when they listen, and they do slow their pace down, or dress. Sometimes, a lot of times, the way they dress isn't maybe not inappropriate, but if they're singing some torchy blues song and they come on in blue jeans, the judges might say you want to dress the part, or so they offer them some practical advice. They offer them some, you might want to stick to songs in this vocal range, or and once they listen, they get amazingly better.
Where do you get the judges from?
Well,
I
we get
I
to-
know Anesti, I see that, but I mean, don't you rotate some of the judges
We
out?
rotate some of the judges out. We've had Diana Martinez. She runs the Mac Center at the College of DuPage. So we try to get people a different, different variety of people that are in the business.
Doesn't that kind of hurt the contestant if it's somebody, they lose the judge that might be one of their favorites? Or?
Well, they might do that, but we have consistent ones. So
Okay.
Beth and John are consistent.
Okay.
Varvatello is fairly consistent. She's our
Sure.
Daily Herald theater critic, so she's pretty consistent. So I mean, they just have the one person sort of coming in and out as a rotating judge. So I don't think it hurts.
Now, you
anybody.
mentioned the yo-yo thing. This is kind of unique. What other unique acts have captured your fancy?
Well, like I said, last year we had a very young girl who was a mariachi singer, and she was really good.
I recall
really
her.
good.
I recall
And
her.
Ron actually was so impressed by her, and he asked her, how did you get started in this? And she said that she was a fan of the Mariachi Divas. I think that's the name of the band that she was a fan of. So the Mariachi Divas are being booked at the Arcada in this fall, and he called this girl up and asked her to come on stage to sing with them. So
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, so he's really she didn't even win, and he is giving her this amazing opportunity. So we've had a mariachi singer, lots of opera singers, dancers, comedians,
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, to walk into a group like that,
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing the audition as a comedian.
Yeah.
So those people seem to.
What kind of audience do you have typically?
The audience it varies. A lot of times it's just the friends and family and fans. So you'll get like these.
The hoop and hollering.
The hooping and hollering goes on, like especially when it's some young, handsome, or beautiful performer. They've
Short
got
skirt.
Yeah.
High notes. High notes and high skirt, right?
Yeah, or something like that. Or you've got the cute guys. Some people they've got their fans
Sure.
out there. We also one of the other things that we do is, and I think people like readers become invested, and they show up and they start to like have a favorite that they root for. We do a fan favorite. So it's not just the judges picking. The judges will pick the winner, but there's also a fan favorite. So every week we have a voting mechanism on dailyherald.com, so people can go online and vote. And one year we had, I believe, like 7,000 votes. So
Really?
people do go on
Somebody
there.
did some lobbying, huh?
Yeah, so they have some lobbying, or they have some fans, some built-in
Sure.
fan
Oh,
base.
sure.
So they also win a prize, and they also get to perform. So, and the winners get to perform. The winner's announced at the Taste of Arlington in Arlington Heights on August 8th.
Oh no, Arlington Heights.
I know, but the Arlington Heights Chamber is a
I know,
sponsor of the
I know.
event, so we're all friends in this.
Yeah.
But they also get to perform at the Septemberfest on Saturday night at
good.
Septemberfest. So that's the capstone
Eileen,
event.
very quickly, what is your background in terms of entertainment and
My background, I was an entertainment editor for the Sun-Times for a while before I worked for the Daily Herald. I was a features editor for the Daily Herald. I went to the Sun-Times. I was the entertainment editor there for a while, and now I'm back and I do all of our Daily Herald events and marketing. So
thanks for being here.
okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you very
Appreciate it.
much.
That'll do it for this month's edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Tune in next month for an all-new episode, and until then, I'll see you around town.